Welcome back to Paddy's Golf Tips. Today we're going to talk about what I would say to a beginner. So for you guys, if you're teaching son, daughter, grandchild how to play golf, what you would say to them, any person who's new to the game, and maybe it might apply to you as well. So what I would say to them is all they need to do is get a grip on the first three letters of school.
The winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Padraig Harrington.
Well, the first letter is S. So the S stands for Swish. So the first thing you say to a beginner is make the club swish as loud as you can. Just past impact is ideal, and just listen to that sound. Make that club move. Don't put the golf ball there yet, because once the golf ball gets in the way, it inhibits everything. Start off by just getting a good swish going, good powerful whoosh, through impact and after impact, okay? The second letter is C, the chest. Okay, that stands for the chest. Now in the golf swing, a lot of people try and keep their head down, especially beginners, but if you put your head down, it's going to get in the way and you're going to lift up. You're going to lift up your chest and your hip, which this is a real power loss. Okay, so you never want to keep your head down, but what you do want to do is you want to keep your chest in the shot. So what does that mean? Well, we don't want this excessive lift up with the chest to get a big shoulder turn. We want to turn our shoulders nicely. When you're practicing, probably only about 3/4 to about there, and see my chest is in the shot. I can have a little bit of extension, but I don't want this big lift of this right hip here. I don't want to come up like that and lift everything up with my chest. But more important, once we've made our backswing and kept our chest level or a little bit up, we then start our downswing with our chest down. So it's a squatting feeling. We squat down and open up with this hip, and our chest covers and stays down. And from here, yes, there's an extension back up, but our chest is still staying in the shot. Most new people to the game have that explosion up, but they come up a bit too early. Their chest pops up early, and that's why they would get fresh airs and miss the ball. So people who generally top the ball or miss the ball, they're keeping their head down, it gets in the way, they're too much down at the top of the backswing, and when they go to hit the golf ball, they have to extend up too much and they miss the ball. When you practice at the driving range, tee the ball up in your normal position and move back. Keep the ball out and ahead, so that if you turn too quickly, you'd obviously fresh air that, so you've got to stay down longer. It's a training drill. You wouldn't play from that position with the ball so far forward. So if that was my normal position, let's say I did it with we'll do it with a 5-iron. Normal position, I'd move the ball forward and out, so that if I turn too quickly or if I lift up too quickly, I'm obviously not going to get to the golf ball. As a training drill, it makes me stay down and extend through. Just a little extra one there. So the first letter was S for swish, second letter is C for chest, so you must keep that chest going down. Shoulder goes up, but it stays in, especially the right hand side. See how much that right hand side stays in the shot. Plenty down there. I don't pop up and back too quickly or too early. So SC. The third letter is H. The H is the only thing I can say to every single golfer, doesn't matter what level they are, that they can do, and it will never do their swing any harm, and it will improve every shot they make for the rest of their life. Now, there's nothing else I can see in golf that does that, because everything can be overdone in golf. Everything can be. But this actually will help every shot and does you no harm. The H stands for hold your finish. So whether you're on a putt, a chip shot, a bunker shot, a pitch shot, an iron shot, or a long shot, if you can finish balanced up here, posted up on your left hand side, it will bring consistency. So the S brings power and speed. The C brings strike, because you can get down on the golf ball. That gives the pressure on the ball, keeping your chest in the shot. And the H gives rhythm and consistency, because if you can finish here, it means you've moved properly in the swing. It means you haven't tried to stay still. It means you've moved properly into your left side. Now if you're a young person, you should be able to get the club to point at the target. And look, it's slightly arched over. That right shoulder goes under and up like so. For a young person, I'm struggling to do that. I find that hard to do with two hands on the club. So for me, my finish is more like that. And if you're, if you're a little older or a little, that's fine. As long as you're posted up, balanced on this position. The reason why we want to be in a balanced finish is it means we've moved correctly during the swing. It definitely, you will not be able to hold that finish. If you try and stay still when you're swinging, if you try and keep your head down and things like that, it will be really hard to pivot and move into this position. So if you can concentrate alone, if I was going to say anything to anybody playing this game, you're struggling, fine, just work on finishing your golf swing and it will tidy up so many things. To get to this position, you have to do so many things right. And you always see that when people hit good shots, they hold the finish. So the trick for you is to hold your finish on every shot, especially on practice swings. So none of this sort of casual practice swings. Take less practice swings and pose up there maybe for 2 seconds, and that will really help the consistency. So SCH. Now I did say you had to get a grip on SCH, and unfortunately this is the one difficulty, the biggest problem in golf. You must get your grip right. If you play golf with a bad grip, you will never improve. A bad grip essentially equals a bad swing. That's just it. If you have an unorthodox grip, you're going to have to get specialized lessons all your life, because all the lessons you see on Instagram, YouTube, in golf magazines, they're all geared for somebody who grips the club properly. So you must learn how to get a proper grip. So let's talk about the grip, okay? The grip is very essentially, look, you want something that you're able to hold the club, that you don't have to press too much, but the club, if somebody tried to twist that club, everything would move, but the club wouldn't move in my hand. You couldn't pull that club out. And yet I'm not holding it too tight. I'm holding it the same way anybody would grip a handle. So if you were picking up a suitcase, if you were picking up a hammer, if you were grabbing a door, you'd use your fingers to grab all the time, and then you'd close your palm around it. So let's look at the grip in a bit more detail. Okay, so the sign of a good grip is I have plenty of mobility in my hands. So when we open up, you'll see this V is pointing somewhere between my chin and my right shoulder, and the V between these two fingers again is pointing somewhere between my chin and my shoulder. You never want them pointing too far right, you never want the right hand pointing too far right. The left can be strong. You can have that left wrapped over if you're an older player. So my fingers first make contact with the club, then the pad of my hand, and it goes under the pad. So it's quite deep down there. And you can see if I want to lift the club up with one finger or those 3 fingers, it latches under that pad. We never want it up here, because if it's up here I can't get a hold on it, and it's going to twist independently and come out, and I'm going to try and strangle the club to hold on to it. Whereas if I grip it in those 3 fingers and under the pad like so, 1 finger, 3 fingers, then the pad goes on, then the forefinger and the thumb would follow. So again, left hand, 3 fingers, pad, forefinger, thumb, like so. And then the right hand is probably even more important. As I said, the only thing that connects you to your club is your grip. If you don't get the grip right, you've got a life of pain. And to be honest, I would say to a lot of people, if you're playing golf once every 3 months, changing your grip's not worth the hassle. You're not gonna put the effort in. Why? If you're trying to improve, you definitely need to change your grip, because if you have a bad grip, you have a bad swing. If you have a good grip, it simplifies things and you can really improve from that position. So right hand, okay, again, it's in the finger. So essentially your right hand goes on like you would shake hands, your strongest position. So when you shake hands with somebody, you'd be in this position. If you were lifting up something, you'd be again holding out in this position. So we want to put 2 fingers on, the middle 2 fingers, the ring finger and the forefinger, grab on like so, and they come in tight against your forefinger, the ring, middle finger, forefinger comes tight in against your index finger there. Okay, then the little finger for me sits on top. You can go baseball if you like. If you want to go baseball, that's generally for You know, weaker players who want to get a bit of speed again, you know, young player can go with that. It's quite comfortable. It gives a bit more speed, but if you're very fast, you want your hands closer together. So they either recommend the Harry Vardon grip, which is the left pinky on top, or the Jack Nicklaus grip, which is wrapped in, interlocking like so. Okay, either, it's personal preference, just as long as the hands are close. So these two fingers go on, and again you see it's way down in my fingers here. It's not in the palm of my hand. Little finger, forefinger, and thumb. Okay.